In question 2, this is still part of the past papers based on the general journal. Now, in question 2, we are given transactions that are to be recorded on the 31st of March 2023. Number 1 says that we purchased stationery for 1,200. And the purchase stationery was incorrectly recorded as trading stock. We need to correct the error. Basically, what happened is that they debited trading stock and they credited bank or creditors control. The debit is wrong. Why do I assume that they debited trading stock? Because they said they purchased. So when you purchase a trading stock, because it is an asset, it will increase on the debit side. That's why I assume, not that I assume, I know that they debited trading stock and they credited bank or creditors control. The credit is correct. The problem is the debit. So we know that we need to credit trading stock and we debit the correct entry, which is stationery. So stationery is an expense. When we buy stationery, we will debit it. But instead of crediting bank or creditors control, we are going to credit trading stock to make sure that we take trading stock back to 0, because it was not supposed to have increased either way. Just to show you a picture of what I'm talking about. This is the incorrect entry that was made. I forgot what the amount was. Let me just quickly check what the amount was. It was 1,200. And then they credited bank or creditor control, depending on how they bought that trading stock. Here, you need to understand that whatever they credited is correct. The only thing that is wrong is what they debited. So we need to reverse this. By debiting the correct entry, we don't know what it is, and crediting trading stock. And obviously, we know actually what it is. We are going to debit stationery, which is 1,200. Now, 1,200 minus 1,200 is 0. So right now, in the stationery account, this has been cancelled. So now we debited the correct entry and we credited the correct entry. That's how you correct the error. Debit stationery, 1,200. Then credit trading stock, 1,200. Then you underline. Next one says that a credit note issued to J. Chen, a debtor, for goods returned by him for 3,700 was recorded in the debtor's journal. Correct the error. Yeah, that's a tough one. It is a tough one because when goods are returned by a debtor, normally 4 accounts will be affected. And all those 4 accounts must be corrected. Okay. I couldn't do the trading stock and cost of sales because I was not given enough information. I wasn't given the markup. I wasn't given anything. I'm simply going to correct the selling price. I will first show you what the error was and show you how we need to correct it. This is what was done. They basically debited the name of the debtor. Okay, let me not be lazy and just go and check what, check the name of the debtor. Oh, it's J. Chen. Okay. So they debited debtors control, which is the name of the debtor here, right? And the amount was 3,700. And then they credited sales. And the amount was 3,700. Now, this whole thing here, unlike the previous 2 transactions that we did, with this one, it's quite different because both of them, this is wrong. In essence, it's supposed to be 4. But since they only gave us the selling price, I'm just going to deal with these 2. Both of these are wrong. And they're not just wrong, they're completely opposite of what is right. So how do we correct this? I will first correct the error, okay? By debiting, I can't debit sales. I'm supposed to debit sales, but I can't debit sales. The only thing that will help me reduce sales is by recording it as debtors allowances. Okay, which is 1,200. And then credit J check by the same amount, which is 1,200. Okay. This is me correcting that error. So now everything is at 0. You will notice that everything is at 0 here. I have simply corrected the error. That is awesome. And by so doing, you will notice that they just cancel each other out, okay? So now the 3,000 for J Chen will be cancelled with that, which is 0. and 3,000 that increased sales will be cancelled with that. So this is taking it back to zero, okay? But we haven't corrected the error. We just corrected the error, but we haven't recorded or made the correct entry. How do I make the correct entry? Because they told you that these were goods returned. You have to make the correct entry. And the correct entry that you make for goods that were returned is to correct the entry. When goods are returned, what would you debit? You will still debit debtors, allowances by 1,200, and then credit JChan by that 1,200. Now this has been corrected. So this is what we're supposed to correct. But you will notice that these entries, these two entries are actually the same. Why did I say 1.2? It's 3.7. Okay, I can't correct that. It's 3.7. It's 3.7. Please never mind 1.2. It is 3.7. Okay, how do I correct that? I'll have to redo it. Okay. Okay, let me see. Okay, it's deleting everything. Okay. I don't think I need to repeat this. You'll understand why I'm doing this because I've explained it already. You're gonna have allowances by 3,700. Then we're gonna have credit. There'll be credit J Chan by 3,700. The mind works in a funny way because I should have seen this, especially when I was canceling them out. Now, this is the correct entry that was supposed to have been made, which is debit, debtors, allowances. It'll be that 3,700 Rand, and then you credit J Chan, which is that 3,700. Okay. Now, because these two entries are exactly the same, they're identical, it's pointless for me to repeat them twice. Instead, I might as well take debtors allowances and multiply by 2, and take JChin and multiply by 2. And what is 3.7 multiplied by 2? 3.7 multiplied by 2, you will just debit your debtors allowances by that value, which is 7,400. And J channel also be credited by 7,400, but because it's a debtor, it'll go to the credit side of your debtors control. All right. That's it. Done. Let's go to the next point, which is number 3. It says that we received a payment for 520 from a debtor. It's I am broke. I see that. I see that. Nice one, examiner. I am broke as a first and final dividend of 40 cents to the rand. The money was received. Money received was properly recorded in the cash journal, which is the cash receipts journal. We need to write off the balancing figure or the balance. You will notice that 520 is what was received. This is what was received, and it is the final dividend that was received. Basically, that 520 is the 40%. This is the 40%. Okay, so it is the 40%. And we need to find the balance. Normally, when we calculate that 520, we will normally take the amount that the debtor owes, of which here we don't know, we're going to call it X, and then you will multiply it by 40 cents or 40%. And then it must give you 520. So X represents the amount that I am broke is owing. And when you simplify that 40 over 100, it will be 0.4. Just divide by 0.4. You will get the amount that I am broke was owing, which is 1,300. It's your choice. You can multiply this by 60% to get the amount that must be written off, or you can just subtract it. So amount received was 520. Bad debts will be 1,300 minus the amount that was received. So your bad debts will be 780. Or you can do it this way. I normally say the amount owed is 100%. Amount received is 40 cents. Amount still owing, or that must be written off, is the difference between the two, which is 60%. And then you multiply by what you want. So I'm going to multiply by the 60, but I was given the amount received. I will multiply by 60 and divide by 40. So you take the amount that you're given, which is at 520 is the amount given, which is the 40. So this will go with that, okay? And amount given is the 520. What do you the percentage of the 520 will be the 40%, and we want the 60%. So you will take that 520 times it by 60 and divide it by 40, and that will give you the 780. The 780 is the bad debts that we need to write off. And to write it off, you will normally debit your bad debts and credit the name of the debtor, which is I am broke. Definitely they're broke because we have to write them off. That will also affect your debtor's control on the credit side, then your underlying. All right, let's move to the next one. The next one says that the discount received from Mario Stores for 3,000 was incorrectly posted to the account of Marion Traders. So for this one, I have to show you the error. Uh, okay. So the error is that they debited Marion Stores. Okay, this is the error they made. Why do I assume that they debited Mario Stores? It's because Mario Stores is a creditor. Okay. We received a discount from Mario Stores. And a discount is income or normally credit discount received. Okay. Which will be 3,000 Rand. This is wrong and this is correct. So credit doesn't need to be corrected. We need to correct the debit by debiting the correct account and crediting Marion Stores. Let me just check who the other creditor that we didn't correctly debit was. It's Marion Stores and it's Marion Stores and what? It's Marion Stores and, well, it's Marion Traders. Oh, it's Marion Traders and Mario Stores. So we're supposed to credit Marion Traders and debit Marion Stores. Okay. Please note that it's Marion Traders. And the amount is 3,000. We are supposed to debit Mario Stores by the 3,000. Okay. So please note that it's not Marion Traders, it's actually Marion Stores. Okay. So this over here, it's supposed to be Marion Traders. Okay. So, but obviously, those two go hand in hand. Um, they will basically just cancel each other out. Now everything is correct, okay? So this one will cancel with that one. So we debited the correct account. So this account was correctly debited. The problem was just the credit part, okay? So this 3,000 will just cancel with the 3,000 and you will be left with the 2 ticks over there. So the correct account has been debited and the correct account has been credited. That is why when we record that, you will simply debit Mario Stores and credit Marion Traders. They're both creditors, so you will put this under creditors control. The net effect under creditors control is just 0. I don't know if they said it happened in the creditors ledger. If it happened in the creditors ledger, you will just leave it like this. You wouldn't even go to your creditors. But even if you go to your creditors, the debit and the credit and the creditors control will, because it's the same account, it'll give you the net effect of 0. Okay, it'll give you the net effect of 0. And that will be it with respect to that. Let's move on. They say that we received 500 from G Hope, a debtor whose account of 500 was previously written off. I did show you in the previous video. Please check out the previous video. It was recorded in the debtors control in the CRJ and posted as such. So here we are simply going to debit G Hope and credit bad debts recovered. Check out the previous video if you want to know how I did that, okay? Let's move on to the next one. What does it say? The next one says that a transfer, we need to transfer a credit balance of 1,000 from the account of T Pule in the debtors ledger. Oh, to his account in the creditors ledger. Interesting. Guys, note that a debtor cannot have a credit balance. If a debtor has a credit balance, it means that it's a minus. And when a debtor has a credit balance, remember the definition of a debtor. A debtor is a customer that owes the business. Now, if it has a credit balance, it could be us having made a mistake or incorrectly recorded the value. And then when we corrected it, we realized that, oh, it has a credit balance. A credit balance in the debtor's control, it means that debtor is no longer a debtor, it's a creditor. So Tipule is sitting on the credit as a debtor, and that is wrong. So to cancel it, we are going to debit the debtor Tipule and then credit the creditor because Tipule is no longer a debtor. Tipule is now a creditor. So we debit Tipule, the debtor, and credit Tipule, the creditor. Got that? So when we debit Tipule a debtor, that negative amount of 1,000 rand will just cancel out. And now we are recognizing Tipule as a creditor. And this creditor will basically be what we owe Tipule, and that will be 1,000 rand. Then you just add everything up. And that's it. Got it? Great. All right, let me show you the next question so that you can try it out. Okay, so this is the next question here. Try it out. Okay, try this one out. And I'll just give you solutions to this. So just time yourself, give yourself some time and complete it. Give yourself around 25 minutes. Afterwards, just mark, okay? So you just play pause before play again. It's pretty much similar to the previous ones, okay? If you have any question, drop it under the comments section or just contact me. You can send me an email. Um, yeah, and just let me know what you think, all right? Here's another question. Give yourself around 30 minutes to complete it. And then check out the solutions. These will be the solutions. All right. All right. For more questions as we go through this, check out the next video. All right. I guess it's Hoto. Till later.